A very warm welcome to day 3 of the tour. We are here at Soldier Field, iconic American football stadium, for 15 minutes of training. Journalists are all here, players are all warming up behind us, and I've got Ben Thornley alongside me for it too. Ben, it's another warm and sticky day in Chicago. These guys are all here, all look like they're getting themselves ready to go. Some stadium, some setting, and obviously nice for everybody to be able to clap eyes on these Manchester United players.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be here in winter, that is for sure, with that gap there. But temperature is just about nice this morning for them to be, game day -1. I think it's perfect for them. When you think about what it's been like the previous 2 mornings, it's been really warm very early. So this is quite a nice temperature.
Yeah, it's definitely come down a couple of degrees, hasn't it? This is a stadium that, of course, they're going to be playing in a little bit later in this Premier League summer series, so they get a little bit of early eyes on what's going on before they fly out to New Jersey this evening, essentially.
Yeah, it just gives them a little bit of a taste of what it's going to be like next Wednesday night when it's filled with fans. Obviously, it's going to be a much lighter session here now, and then we'll see what happens next Wednesday night.
Absolutely right. So as we have a little spin around here and look at what some of these Manchester United players are doing, I think a couple of things to sort of talk about here. One, the first day that we were here, day 1 of the tour, so Wednesday morning, the intensity in that training session was ridiculously high, crazy high, and they worked really hard. Second day, they actually reduced the load right off, did a big tactical session, which was interesting for different reasons for you and I going into the game on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today, obviously, lighter load session again ahead of that game tomorrow. It's very much been a case of balancing the workload for all of the players in this tour so far.
Yeah, and when you get into the games in pre-season, that's exactly what you have to do. But I think we mentioned it the other day that you have to remember that they're a little in over two and a bit weeks into pre-season, so there's still plenty more that need to go into the legs. But this is how the manager and the coaching staff are managing it when it comes towards actually playing a game.
So obviously it's very much a case of getting players warm before they do boxes or rondos or whatever it is that they're going to do in front of the journalists for the rest of the session. It is all movement focused, so it's making sure that everybody's loose and free and easy, especially with a flight today as well. I think with the travel involved, where you can be a little bit cooped up for a little bit of time, it's important to make sure that all of those limbs are moving going into the game tomorrow.
Yeah, as loose as possible. That's exactly what you want to be. You want to make sure that you're in a position where you can be ready to get out there for whatever the manager demands of you. We know that it's not going to be too much this morning, but the most important thing, and looking forward as well, to reduce the risk factor of injury. You want to stretch.
Been really interesting as well. Ruben Amorim, if you've never really seen any of the open training stuff that Manchester United do, he gets right involved. He is standing here watching how all of his players are working. He is trying to drive the standard. Even in sessions like this, he wants maximum focus from everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it entails. Whether it's a session like we saw the other day, which was 2 hours of real high intensity, or whether it's just as we're going to experience today, the day before a game, when yes, you want to be light, but you have to be focused, and you want to be stretched, and you want to be loose, and you just want to be ready, because they won't know who's going to take to the field tomorrow night, but I pretty much know that it will be a lot of them at some stage.
The majority of these players have had the same level of pre-season. There are a couple that maybe haven't quite done as much just yet, and there are a couple that have been dealing with injuries. It's when we talk about training, it's not just Ruben Amorim or Adelio or Emmanuel or Carlos Fernandez that are really driving that, but actually the sports scientists, the analysts, the guys that manage the output, the physical output from the players, have a huge say in how the sessions are run. And we've actually seen, because of the weather here in Chicago, where they've had to occasionally be a little bit reactive to the situations to make sure that they're not putting the players under too much pressure ahead of big games coming up in this pre-season tour. Yeah,
and I think that's the difference when you do come away to somewhere like this that can get extremely humid and very hot, that it does need managing. We know that there's been sessions where they probably thought it's really not worth it because of the heat element.
So again, it's all really, what's the opposite of dynamic? You know, in terms of the level of intensity, it's all very steady movements here, just making sure that they get themselves moving. We saw that tactical session in training yesterday, which was fascinating, and I won't give anything away because that would be wrong of me, but I think we saw maybe some things that we hadn't seen previously, and some things that the pair of us are quite excited about seeing being employed in game.
Yeah, and when you don't get the opportunity to be able to see that very often, then it is, and you stand there and you know, you're focused with what sort of a session the manager is trying to put on, and what he's trying to achieve from his players. And that's not just, you know, for the game tomorrow or for the game next Wednesday. This is going forward into the new season.
I think that's absolutely right. So in case you're wondering what's going on here, all of the players have training tops that have these GPS trackers in the back of them, and those GPS trackers are designed to sort of measure the distances covered and how, not only how far, but how fast and how intense all of those runs actually are. All of that is gathered in by the data analysts. They take that, and that's how they decide what the training load's going to look like in future days ahead of matches, who's where, who's output too much energy, who hasn't quite done enough, and they can tailor the programs for each of the players depending entirely on that, which I find
and which colour zones you fall.
Yeah. Are you in the red zone?
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
I don't think I've been in there for a while.
I'm in the red zone. Tight hammies today, Ben. Boots coming on now. Start seeing a little bit of work with the ball, as we can sort of see over in the background, Kobe Mainu and Diogo Dalot sharing some passes. And this has been, for me, the really interesting bit of training is when you get down at pitch level, when you're really up close and personal with the way that these guys play. It is, the pace and the power is unlike anything you've seen. Yeah. So all of the stretching and the warm-up and stuff now done into the football portion, and I guess as a former footballer, this is where you want to be, right, with the ball at your feet.
Yeah, you always loved the day before a game because you knew at some point you were going to go into what we call the boxes, and it's really enjoyable. But you can still get the workout in and still get the intensity, but it's great camaraderie as well.
So boxes, explain boxes to people that might not understand them, Ben.
Well, normally you get two people in the middle, as we're about to witness now, and the object is to keep the ball away from them. And obviously the object of the two in the middle is just trying to get some sort of a touch on it. But it just helps in such close proximity to sharpen up your passing.
And if you give it away, if you're the one that plays the pass that is intercepted, you're in the middle.
I don't know how it works, if it's one person or if you go in with the person either directly to your right or directly to your left. They work it in different ways, but certainly if you are the person that gives it away, then yes, you're in there.
Who was the best at that when you were playing in the class of '92? We'll go with that first. Who was the best in the class of '92 at boxes?
Do you need to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Scholesy.
Yeah. I didn't need to ask. I didn't need to ask. And what about career-wise? Anybody ever better than Scholesy at that?
It was tough. Because he was so crafty and so skillful that you were terrified of that, like, trying to guess what he was going to do. Because invariably, just stick it through your legs. And if you stick it through your legs, you're staying for another one.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And what about, was there a culprit for standing on your toes on purpose in those kind of situations? Because I'll bet you there was.
You always got somebody who was crafty, who would give you a terrible pass and would just sort of bobble it into you just to test your touch.
Make sure you had to go in the middle.
Yeah.
You've had far too long on the outside.
But most of this he's done one touch, but obviously there are variations there. He can, one touch and then two touch, just to get your mind going as well as your feet.
Two new signings in the centre of that box at the minute, Diego Leon and Matheus Cunha. Hopefully going to have a conversation with Matheus Cunha a little bit later on today, so hopefully we'll be able to hear from him in the not too distant future. And of course, first time we'll have the opportunity to hear from Ruben Amorim as well. So a couple of those bits coming up today. Let's talk about Matheus Cunha, because you saw him on Saturday. What did you make of him?
I thought he showed some really good touches, and something that we've probably been missing is somebody that can pick up the ball in all areas of the field and have the ability. That's not bad, is it?
This is it. They're counting. Diogo's counting. 18, 19, 20 is what we're up to. Ball hasn't touched the floor. Oh, no, it's back on the ground and off we go again.
Yeah, he showed some really good touches and the ability to burst with the ball and to beat players. I'm really excited about his signing. I honestly am. I think he's a super player, proven Premier League as well, which I think is a must when you know the demands and the rigours of what this division can do for you. And he's been standout for Wolves in previous seasons, and I think fans will be delighted that we've got his signature.
It's been they are entertaining to watch, aren't they?
Yeah,
when you see them
and
the skill levels that are involved, they're absolutely fantastic. It's going there. Yeah. So Harry Maguire is in the second box that we can see over here, and he's brilliant to have him out on the tour after the personal issues that just sort of made life a little bit difficult for him. But here now, and he worked hard yesterday. He was put through his paces, wasn't he, at training yesterday morning, and had a little chat with him yesterday afternoon. And great to have Harry back with the squad. Yeah,
definitely. Real experience, and not only that, but his performances have been superb that we've seen over the last couple of seasons. And yeah, he's an integral part of this squad.
And looking at the defenders here, again, I had a lovely conversation yesterday with both Mason Mount and Matthijs de Ligt, and that was brilliant. So looking forward to sort of seeing what they've got about them coming forward. So yeah, absolutely brilliant to see them all, and you can see smiles on faces, and that's always absolutely brilliant, isn't it, to see everybody enjoying themselves while they're doing these. We've got Brian and Burmo over in the middle. In fact, he was in the middle for about 2 seconds before he's managed to intercept the ball, and he's back on the outside again. There were a couple of finishes in that first day's training, by the way, where you and I just looked at each other like one of these, like one of those. He's got something about him. Yeah, he's got something about him, hasn't he?
I've been a long time admirer of Brian Burmo. The way that he plays the game, he looks effortless. He can inside, outside, 2 great feet. He's quick, can play with the ball, can play on the counter attack. And from what we saw as well, he's not half good in the air. Yeah. So yeah, he's an all-rounded player, and again, just like Matheus Cunha, a difference maker. Somebody that can change games like that. And I think that's when you're playing in a league as competitive, this is imperative to have people like that in your squad.
He can cross the ball as well. I've got palpitations going currently. This is very close behind us, and it's only going to take one of them to decide that they fancy smashing this at you or I, and we're in trouble. And it's making me nervous, Ben.
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous.
They're too good for that, unless they want to do it deliberately.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting it was going to be an accident. I hope I haven't. You see, that one's come rifled through as well. It only needed to go the other way. Look. The other thing is Diego Leon, who you saw on Saturday, much younger player, obviously signed as a development signing, somebody that is going to grow into their role at Manchester United. But having spoken to a couple of the players, they really like his attitude and the way that he conducts himself around the training ground, how aggressive he is, how much he wants to be involved, and you know, one for the future, I think, really.
I mean, he may well be one for now, because you look at him, and even though he's only young, 18, his physical attributes, he looks like he has that to be able to compete in the Premier League. And we saw the game against Leeds. I know that you can't read too much into it and in 45 minutes of football in your first pre-season game, but certainly for a position that has been a bit of an issue, now all of a sudden we've got competition for places, and that's healthy, and every manager needs it.
I think every player as well has sort of got two positions in the squad that they're able to sort of play, and all of a sudden the pieces have started to fit together, and you can really see, you know, whether or not you want Mason Mount to play number 10 or, you know, sat a little bit deeper. Same with Bruno Fernandes, whether you want Ahmad to play number 10 or whether you want him to play right wing back. All of that, having that versatility in your squad is absolutely huge.
It is, and you know, if you can afford to be flexible and fluid like that when you're winning football matches and when you're dominating games. And we've got so many different players certainly in those forward areas that are capable of changing games, being able to pop up in different positions, be able to get in the ball, be able to run in behind. It's a really exciting blend of players that we've got that can at the top end of the pitch.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Welcome.
Look, so much coming up for you. Not only have we got the game tomorrow, the pre-match show as well, the tour diaries that are coming out on the Manchester United website and app, all of the training content all the way through the tour. Keep it with us on MUTV, the Manchester United website and the app as well, because we will bring everything to you as and when we can. For the meantime, though, we'll see you soon.